going on, traders? This is Rob here, MV3 Trader. It's a real quick the pop-up video I wanted to talk about. Something real quick is again, if I'm looking over there, I'm looking at the board, my whiteboard, but that's neither here nor there. But basically, what I'm going to talk about today is seeking validation from other traders, right? So what I mean by that is, I follow a lot of trading and investing communities on various social media platforms, on Facebook, Twitter, even some on Instagram, and all that good stuff, right? And what I see a lot is there will be some new traders, some beginner traders who will see something through their studies and through their practice or whatever method they're using to learn how to trade or invest. They will see something and they will see patterns or whatever, or some kind of indicator or whatever it is. They will find something that works. They will find something from their opinion and their perspective that they can see. If I could do this, if I consistently do this, and if I do this right, it can work for me, and I can make, I can have consistent profits using whatever method that I've seen, right? So they'll see something that works, but what they'll do, instead of just trusting themselves and trusting the process, right? Because no matter what, I always say there's no shortcut. You have to go through the process. You can try to take a shortcut and follow someone else's trading plan or someone else's advice word for word, and I'm not saying anything negative about, if you can find a mentor, I would definitely recommend getting a mentor. But at the end of the day, don't get so caught up in your mentorship, or don't get so caught up in the advice from other successful traders that you lose sight of the most important part, which is yourself. Now, that's your edge. So if you are tapped into your edge from the beginning, or if you are using your edge, even though you may not realize that you're using your edge, if you see something that works and you can see how to use this, whatever it is, to your benefit, and you've done your due diligence, you went and back traded it, you tested it in a live market, you've done everything, you've done your full due diligence to make sure that this is something legit, then do it. The only thing that's going to tell you if it's going to work or not is to actually do it. That's just the truth. You know what I mean? Let's say if you find a certain indicator that you see that if you use it a certain way with whatever rules or parameters that you set for your trading style, your trading plan, you see that this indicator really helps you maximize the potential of your trading plan, then if you tell me about it, I don't have your perspective, so I'm not going to be able to see exactly what you see. So me being a more experienced trader, I can look at what you showed me, and I'm coming with bias because I have my strategies, I have my plans that work really well for me. So I'm going to be like, yo, this is whatever the way that I trade, that's going to be the way that a successful trader should trade. However, it doesn't mean that there's not other ways to successfully trade, right? It doesn't mean that if I tried to use the VWAP, but I couldn't make the VWAP work for my plan, that doesn't mean that another trader can't take the VWAP and consistently earn major profits with the VWAP. For me, the VWAP didn't work. For another trader, the VWAP can work just fine, right? So what you're doing when you need to be careful when you see something that works and then you run to whatever community or whatever chat room or whatever guru or whatever, and you go and ask them what their advice is about whatever it is that you saw, that from your perspective looks like it works. The only way you're gonna know is if you are able to use whatever that thing is. If you're able to use it yourself and do trial and error yourself, that's the only way to know if it's gonna work or not. All right. I don't know if I'm clearly making this point or not, but if you can't understand what I'm talking about, just go ahead and drop a comment below this video, and I will clean it up. But so long story short, what I'm saying is, I see this happen a lot. This is why I decided to make this video, because I see it time and time again. There will be a new trader that goes in, and you know, granted, they don't have experience, but you can't skip that experience phase. You got to get the experience. Even if I can give you the best strategy in the world, that no matter, you know, any trader can do it. It's the easiest, it's the best, it's the one that anybody can figure out. But if you don't understand, if you haven't had enough experience to all kind of noises. If you don't have enough experience to understand the ebb and flow of the market and the different phases and the different seasons of the market, you're going to go through a phase where you're not going to get the best results from my perfect strategy. And also, you don't have my perspective. And then there's timing, and that's all kind of reasons why my perfect strategy would not achieve the same results for any other trader out there, right? So if you see something that works and you feel like completely, you know, in your heart that it works, the only thing that you can do to validate if it works or not is to actually try it, just to do it, right? You can, you know, if you don't want to risk your own money to try it, paper trade it. That's what a lot of successful traders do. If they're working on a new concept or a new strategy or a new idea, they will go and they will paper trade it. They will back test it. You know, they will do it in a manner that doesn't risk their personal capital or the capital for their trading business. And then they will, you know, make a determination if this new idea or this new strategy is valid or not for them, right? And it's for them. This is an internal journey that that's the part that a lot of people miss out. It's not so much about the strategy. It's not so much about the market. It's not so much about other traders. It's not about the evil market makers or the you know, big institutions or the big money. Yeah, they move the market, and they have the account size and the position sizes to move the market. However, that doesn't mean there are plenty of people. If you understand that, then you should understand how to take advantage of those moves. And it's not winning 100% of the time. It's not even winning 60, 70, 80% of the time. It's just trusting yourself. That's the main thing. To trust yourself, grow internally, and you will become a successful trader. So just be careful. If you see something, if you are a new trader out there and you see something that works and to you it works, go try it yourself. I wouldn't even say ask anybody else. If you want to get someone else's advice, just take their advice with a grain of salt. They're projecting their own negative and positive thoughts on you from their own biased perspective, right? They can't see what you see, right? So you have to trust yourself. You have to trust what you see, and then go try it for yourself and gain the experience. The worst that can happen if you have an idea and you want to try it and test it out, and you do it in a safe environment where you don't risk your own money, then the worst that can happen is you learn something. Learning something in this business is key to your success over the long term. So looking at my camera here, my battery is about to die, so I basically, you know, I think I beat that horse pretty dead. Hope nobody doesn't. And that's not a very PC thing to say nowadays. We're super hypersensitive in this current culture. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. Deuces. Catch y'all later.